Welcome back to my office. This is Father Mark, continuing our conversation about how to serve you well using the questions that came from you from our conversation on January the 9th at Cypress Columns with the rest of our parish implementation teams. And this video is specifically in regards to questions about CCD, where we are going in the future and how we can get there together. I want to group the themes, you might say, of the questions that were asked in regards to three different things. The first is the overall assessment or perception from many parishioners in regards to CCD. The second is about the resources that will be available for a new pedagogy, you might say, for CCD. And then the third is in regards to those who are going to be working with CCD. So let's unpack those three themes together, you might say. The first is the perception of many people about CCD. And let me just first say that we have great people working with our young Catholics in CCD. A lot of you who are watching now perhaps have either had an experience in the past in working with CCD, or maybe even right now are engaged in CCD. We have a lot of great people, adults, who are giving of themselves generously because they want the future of our church to be strong. Now, with that said, one of the things that we heard across the diocese during the listening sessions in 2016 was a concern that as culture changes, as times change, that perhaps our approach to the people that we form hasn't changed fast enough with the times. I want to be very clear as I say that the gospel doesn't change. We don't compromise orthodoxy, and we don't change the church's teachings. However, the ears of those who are hearing has certainly changed a little bit. The challenges that young people face today are very different than the challenges that many of us who are teaching CCD were facing when we were younger. And as the culture with which our young people are growing up in, as the canvas, the landscape changes, we don't change the gospel, but we do need to adapt the way that we present a timeless message. Many people have had the same perception that it's time for us to adapt in our presentation of a timeless gospel. And so we would agree, if that's your perception, that's the perception of a lot of people. It's actually what the national statistics tell us. And so as we want to do a better job in serving all of our dioceses, we certainly want to include our young people and their beautiful hearts in that movement of where we're heading. So that brings us into the resources that we are going to be releasing in parishes. Our original plan when we were in committee work, you might say back in 2016, was that we would release new resources for CCD in the fall of 2018. However, as I have said from the very beginning of the process, it's all about the process. In other words, it's not about the destination, it's about how we get there. It's not about the product, it's about the process that we all engage with in order to come up with a plan together. And as we come up to that plan, as the process unfolds, it's important for us to listen to our parishes. It's important for us to listen to each other as we learn about the process together. And as we have made some adjustments in the way that we work with our parish implementation teams, we've made some adjustments in the way that we work with our DREs, knowing that the generosity with which they give of themselves and the challenges that they face have required us to slow the process down just a little bit. So we are indeed going to release new resources, make available new resources to our parishes for CCD. That won't happen in the fall of 2018 because we want to make sure that we have a strong foundation laid and that we have the support that we need in other venues to make sure that our parishes succeed. We are going to move forward with what we said we were going to do with CCD, and we're just going to let that unfold a little, you might say, on a different timeline than 2018. More than likely hoping for the fall of 2018 19 as our release date for new resources with CCD. That gives us all of this year and into next year to form people, which is what our third question was about. What about the people who are going to be helping with CCD? Two questions that were there. Number one, where are they? And number two, how are we going to form them? They are in the pews. And I know that there was a common skepticism of, are we going to find the volunteers that we need for all the new initiatives from strategic planning? And the question is a good question, and the answer is an even better one, and that answer is yes. I shared with you one of my favorite quotes, that is that God takes 100% responsibility for lives that are 100% surrendered to Him. I do believe that God is active and alive in our diocese. That's what we see happening in your implementation teams. And ideas that are inspired by God are then guided and equipped and fulfilled by God. And so as God leads us into a new season of CCD, He's going to provide the people that we need. The process for allowing our parishes to find those CCD teachers in the future will be the same that we followed with the adult formation. We'll discern together names, knowing that we already have people who are teaching CCD, and we certainly encourage them to stay with us. But if we need more, we're going to discern those names just like we did for adult formation. And of course, just as we have a formal training program to make sure that our new volunteers for adult formation feel confident, we want to make sure that anybody who is going to be serving in our parishes feels confident in what they do. So as we look at 2019 as a probable time where we're going to begin new wrinkles in CCD, anybody who's going to be working in that will have lots of training in that, and we look forward to what that might do to our parishes and really how that's going to impact our young people. Any other questions about CCD? Let us know. Give us a shout or send us an email. And until we see you again, God bless you.